Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it. Woot woot. Live from KKL.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Halloween.
Yeah, right?
everybody. It's October 31st.
It's been a spooky morning already. I had to drive into WKKL.
That's crazy.
It was a madhouse on 6. It's been a while since I've driven to
It
someplace during commute,
Yeah.
and people were acting a fool. There was a random bobcat slowing down traffic on the highway.
No way.
No, not an actual live bobcat, like somebody with a flatbed with a bobcat on it, going 20 miles an hour on 6. Aggressive drivers all over the place. I was like,
You're
this
telling
is
me.
terrifying. No, did
You
not
know-
love it.
You know what was crazy? It kind of brought the spirit of Halloween. I'm driving from Rhode Island. I'm on like 495.
Yeah.
There's all this fog that's just like smoky in the air. And like while the sun is rising, I'm like, this don't feel Halloweenish. I don't know.
Right.
What this is.
Yeah, right.
All the fog's rising. I'm like, this almost feels like a movie's about to start.
You put yourself in a funky Halloween situation. I'm digging it.
Oh, man.
So what'd you do in Rhode Island?
Well, I went to go visit my mom. Well, actually, I went down to Rick to hang
Oh,
out with some people down
that's
there.
fun.
Oh, yeah. Rhode Island College. It's not too far from where I used to live. Maybe 20 minutes, if so.
Were you partying?
No.
Not you.
I don't party,
Not the
people.
college kids.
I don't party, bro.
Is that what you kids do these days?
I don't. I don't know about other people. I can't speak for other people, but I know I just go down there to hang out with people. Yeah, and then after I hung out with my mom, we had some Thai food a little bit later.
Perfect.
Thai food is always a great option.
Probably one of my favorites. If it's going to be
Definitely
a
one of my
choice,
favorites.
it's going to be that.
What's your go-to Thai meal?
I like pad Thai, but I also like soup and any cashew chicken something or other. I'm down for. So
I'm like a clear noodle soup dude, and then you get the sweet and sour chicken where it's actually like chicken with the pineapple in it.
yep, there you go.
Ooh, that is next level cooking right there.
So what's happening today? I saw the big signs for this awesome party that's happening in the calf later. Is that where it is?
Yeah, it's in the cafeteria. It's from 12 to 3 p.m. I will miss a little bit of it because, I'm going to help Professor Z set up
Mhm.
if I have time before my history class.
Well, I saw that she's got some like new sweet DJ stuff, some new bumping.
Oh, yeah, we got that.
Look at you
Ooh.
college kids with some new equipment. You
Shut
should
up.
suffer like we did when we were in college with all the old stuff that we used to have to put together with paper clips and tape and hold our breath and hope that it worked.
It's a cool little thing you can bring. It's like you can pick it up and bring it on the go. It's not like you got to get the speaker and then put it on top of something.
Yep.
It's a speaker where you can open it up a little bit.
Little Fender Passport. I love them.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you can you can Bluetooth on there. You can plug stuff in if you need to, but the Bluetooth's essential these days because how
You
many
guys are
people-
all fancy.
you fancy, huh?
That's it.
No, I think for me,
I'm not going to date myself, but I am going to tell you when I began DJing, it was with records. So yeah, it wasn't fun. And you had to carry them wherever you went. You want to talk about that? Not fun.
she had a bin, and it's like she's trying to transition. She's like, I gotta open up this.
And then if you want to request, well, that depends.
but depends
Did
how
it
long.
fit in my record crate? Yes or no? You're not getting it.
How many records could it fit in?
How many ever I could carry. It really depended on what I had that day and when I was trading with other friends. So
Instead of trading cards back in the day, it was trading records.
that was it.
I'll trade you the Michael Jackson Thriller for the Prince 1999 album.
Classic soundtrack. We were having this conversation the other day with friends of ours, and Halloween parties have been happening all week long. It's weird when you've got Halloween on a Thursday, so it's like
Yeah.
you've got the weekend prior. I feel like we're all the big parties, but then there are still like the lingering parties. There'll be a big one tonight. I'm going to be over at Ryan's, so we're doing a little bit of Halloween trivia. I've got a couple of costumes. I haven't decided what I'm going to be.
Hey, this is the one time of year you can be under a mask. They say.
Well, I brought out like the sack of costumes, and I was like, okay, what are we reusing this week? I made my husband be a gorilla on Monday.
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook.
Yeah, he didn't
was
love
good.
that because it was hot as everything. It was just like, I'm like, you should go outside. It's kind of, you look like you're on fire right now. What's up, Mary Jane? Thanks for joining us. It's Nate, and we are here at WKKL 90.7. If you want to check into the dial and listen to the great tunes that have been programmed by the students here at Cape Cod Community College.
This isn't 90.7 WKKL. This is 90.7 David Bowie radio.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it was. I think
they're
they're
gonna get you.
well, I mean, depending on which hour you get, sometimes you get a lot of David Bowie, it feels like, because, you know, Professor Z has started to take a lot of the songs off because there was just so much of that on the station.
Yeah.
That it was like literally almost called 90.7 Bowie radio.
Well, when you start programming stuff, the computer, like AI, likes a certain realm of things. So if it starts just choosing that, it left to its own devices, maybe it just became too much David Bowie. So
I mean, I hear some songs that I do recognize on our station where I'm like, oh, I've definitely heard this before. But then there's songs where I'm like, oh, I don't think I've heard this before.
yeah, how do you feel about that age bracket situation where the tunes that, by the way, great station, great classic rock. We really do enjoy it. Some specialty shows mixed in, spiced in all over all day long. And I really do enjoy it. But definitely not your age bracket of tunes.
I know like the B-52s on there. We all know
Which,
that.
by the way, Kate Pearson lives on Cape Cod now.
Does she really?
She's one of the members of the B-52s.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she's a Truro resident now.
That's close to Provincetown, right?
There you go. You know the Cape.
A little bit. Depends what day we talking, because sometimes I'm like, where's that again? Like the people explain, oh yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts on 132 right near the Cape Cod, and I'll be like, where's that again? And then once I drive by it every time, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you have to
I
like
drive by this every day almost.
Spatially find it.
And they're doing like 100 things of construction on there.
I was out last night with the Greater Hyannis Chamber, and it was part of their annual meeting. And it was also a Halloween theme. So they gave out Halloween prizes for the scariest. I mean, and these are adults that go all out. They're very much involved in the community. We had the John Cotton and his wife, Barbara, who work at the Red Cross, were the Mad Hatter and the Queen of Hearts. And it was like full on wig, makeup, perfect outfit, incredible costuming from a lot of people. So shout out to all the ladies over at Mass Hire, Kat Wilson, who was dressed up. They were dressed up as the Spice Girls. But it wasn't the actual Spice Girls. They were just dressed as chefs, and they went as different kinds of spices.
Yeah, that's clever.
It was something different. It was kind of cute. I appreciated it.
It's the clever costumes that people come up with.
And then my friend Tina, who works over at the hospital, but she's also chocolate Nana. She made little chocolates that look like eyeballs. And like she is so talented, it's not even funny. And they taste ridiculous. This is chocolate. And people are like, what are they? I'm like, just put it in your mouth. It's good. It's good chocolate. That's what it is. But she dressed up as the Day of the Dead, this like elaborate, amazing face paint that she had done by our friends over at O Places, Lauren, who just did this incredibly amazing. She had feathers. I mean, it was really quite incredible. I'm not that crafty.
I'm not too huge on Halloween. I do enjoy it a little bit, but I'm not like go all out type.
That was my question of the day. The people that don't like Halloween, like why? I was just curious.
I've never, I don't know. I've just never really gotten into it. That's my only reason. Like,
yeah.
I'll like celebrate. Like, yeah. But
I'm a fan of seasonal dress, but I'm not creative by any means when it comes to stuff like that. It's just not in my wheelhouse.
I do like the November, December time. I don't know. Something just about like
We're
the
about
nostalgia.
Yeah, we're about to be in the best time of the year as far as I'm concerned. If you're a New Englander, I think that this is our favorite because you, football guy, wearing his Steelers over there, you can't see much of your Steelers outfit.
There you go. Well,
He's like, you got it.
I gotta represent. They're 6-2 out here.
Well, listen, we are on a hot winning streak as us Patriots fans, and we are on a winning streak, and we're headed on down to Nashville. And by a winning streak, I mean winning.
You guys should beat
name.
the Titans. If you guys don't, that'd be pretty sad to watch. The Titans are literally the worst team in football.
I don't know. I think that
Outside of the Panthers.
or the Pats.
No. Listen, if it came, the Pats are probably the third worst team in the NFL right now, or maybe the fourth.
I
But
don't
if
know.
we're talking the worst two
Better
right
than the
now,
Jets.
yeah. And we beat the Jets too.
I'm very much looking forward to going down to Nashville. I'm only going for like 2 quick days. So it's like go for the game, gonna get to hang out with my childhood best friend.
Oh yeah.
I
that's
know, I
nice.
know. And then be in Nashville, which if you've never been is very busy. There is a most amazing tour-worthy musician on every corner.
Wow.
Like anywhere you turn, there is somebody that is so supremely talented that you're like, how are you not making records by yourself right now? And they're like, oh, no, I'm just the starter act. I'm just like, I'm the janitor, actually.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are you not playing at the Grand Ole Opry? Why are you not? They're so good. Everyone's so talented.
I think you should just take a mic this time when you go down to Nashville and just be like, I'm here with blah, blah, blah. Why do you deserve a record deal?
Start doing random interviews with random people.
Stephanie Viva here of TMZ. No,
I just make up my own random numbers and letter station. No, we can definitely broadcast live as Lemonadio and check in and say, hey, how are you? I'll send it to you over here at WKKL. You can choose to use it or not. I know there's a big Halloween party that we're rebroadcasting tonight. Ricky B is taking over the airwaves, and from 5 until 9 tonight on WKKL, there's going to be a Halloween party.
How many times do you think Thriller's going to be played today?
Please, just one time.
I love that song.
How
so much.
creative can you be with 4 hours of music?
Well, I'm just saying in general, how many times do you think people are going to play Thriller because it's Halloween?
Mari said, Nate, we met your dad yesterday. Hello and good morning.
At Kia, I'm guessing.
Probably. Yeah, I think that
Where'd
they're
you
car
meet him?
shopping. I know your dad doesn't do much other than work. So
Well, he's either, grabbing a quick bite after work, or he's at Kia, or he's at home.
yeah. Well, you guys had been on an adventure this year, right? Didn't you go somewhere or do something?
I don't think him and I have gotten to go on a trip, but by the end of
I
the
thought
year,
you went to a game, or was that last year?
might have been a year ago.
Oh, maybe
I'm
I just saw a photo. I assume everything on Facebook is fresh and brand new. So I'm like, wasn't that yesterday for you? They're like, Stephanie, that was 3 years ago. That was one of my memories. I'm like, "Ah, okay.
You know what I don't like about Facebook is all the useless stuff that gets onto my feed, like of random stuff where I'm like, what's going on with my family members? And then you find out like 3 days later,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's cool. They did this day. And then you look at the date. It's like, that was 4 days ago. And you're like, you're just now getting onto my feed.
I know. Because unless you specifically search whatever, once again, that phantom bot that likes to play David Bowie here at WKKL apparently likes to also show me old stuff and stuff that it feels like showing me on social media. What's up, Noah? Where are you? Why are you not in the studio here with us today?
Shout out to my guy, Noah.
So many great students here at KKL doing really cool creative endeavors. Can you see? Yeah, you can see the baby whale that's behind Nate right now. This has given me so many ideas just being in here as whoever's costume this is. First of all, you're a very small human. Secondly, very clever with how you made the inner workings of this baby beluga over here. And I now have ideas. Lauren, we have the Hot Elf studio going on right now. Yesterday, I sent her photos of something that I wanted from social media.
Yeah.
I said, I want to do this for the Winter Wonderland that we're building in the Mashpee Commons. And all of a sudden, I see them woodworking on TikTok and showing everybody all this gingerbread men and wooden sleighs. And I'm like, oh my God, she made it. She's making it.
Let's go.
I love ladies and saws. There's something about it. Screams Halloween. Even when you're making gingerbread men.
Oh yeah.
Wood and saws.
You know what? Now I have a good question because we're getting to this point of the year. And I know we probably talked about this. How early is too early to play Christmas music? Because I know soon stations are going to flip over to that way too early.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the day after Thanksgiving is when you start playing that.
That's when I do it.
Yeah.
But some stations I'll be flipping through sometimes.
Slow your roll, holidays. I like to slowly enjoy this season. I'm trying to savor it. I heard Bruce was going to be coming in a bear costume today.
Yeah. That
Or
should
was
be
that a
fun to
secret or a
watch.
surprise?
No, I think that was clever of him because if you've listened to WKKL, his name's Bruce the Bear,
Right.
on the air, as he likes to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite fitting.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Angie? Good to see your face this morning. We are live on WKKL. Nate and I are getting ready in the festive Halloween season as here we are. Somebody was like, what? I posted the meme, I think, somewhere about what are you doing? It's Halloween. I go to work. That's
I
it's
go
a
to
Thursday.
work or school.
You animal. No, but there's fun and festive things happening here today.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm really looking forward to the second half of this semester because you got this is kind of like the mid semester thing. That's kind of my mid semester thing. Is usually, yes, we have midterms the second week of December, but all classes really usually get wrapped up the first week of December. So this is kind of like
home stretch.
Yeah, and I gotta really lock in.
Oh, all right. I was going to ask you how those grades were, but I saw from the eyes that we need to do some work.
Oh, no. I'm doing great. I just know I'm going to need to stay focused in order to keep everything up because the moment I get too comfortable and laid back, that's when everything could fall apart.
Yeah. Do you know any fun facts about Halloween?
I don't actually.
Do you know where it was originally started to be celebrated?
No. Where
it's from the Irish.
Really?
Yeah. They used to carve turnips instead of pumpkins. Turnips. Man, that's where it began.
I'm going to have to bring that tradition back.
Well, apparently the squirrels have been carving the pumpkins that are in my front yard right now. I freaked out the other day. I screamed at the top of my lungs because one of them popped out of the pumpkin. I had no idea there was a hole in it. And all of a sudden I just saw a squirrel look at me and pop out of it and ran away. And I was like, oh my God.
You're like, hello.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my husband's like, should we get a BB gun or a pellet? No. Leave the squirrels.
He just resorted to violence. That's funny.
Well, I swear they're the same ones that we removed from our attic. So I think that they're angry that we ruined their winter home.
Their winter wonderland.
Yeah, get out of my attic, buddies. Sorry. It was a whole family of them. He kept trapping them and moving them outside. He's like, where are they coming from?
he's like a airport security person or TSA. Oh, you got your bags. Sorry. Even if you got your bags checked, you got to go over there.
You're not passing. What's up, John? Are you joining us from Nashville? I know many, many Cape Cod residents are heading down to Nashville at some point this weekend. I saw that you were going nice and early, though. I'm kind of jealous that you're already there. And it looks like a stellar weekend. It's very weird to have it almost 70 degrees here for Halloween today.
Yeah.
Where I've been I turn on my heat before November 1st.
You know, I will say
I'm not proud of it.
I will say this year's been a little different because usually it's still very nice out, but it seems like this year it got colder a little quicker.
Yeah, we've been up, down, up, down. It got frozen, and it was Monday where I had our little Lemonadio mascot in the studio, Savannah. And I'm like, I can't let this house be 50 degrees with a baby in here. I have to turn on the heat. So I broke for little Savannah and turned it on. And now today it's going to be 70.
Yeah.
Some parts of Massachusetts, 80. No joke.
Don't you love to live on Cape Cod?
It's going to be a hot Halloween, so hopefully you don't have a sweaty costume that you thought you were going to be all nice and toasty in.
Don't most people trick or treat at 6, 7 p.m.?
I don't even know anyone that trick or treats anymore. My neighborhood is so quiet. Where are the good neighborhoods throughout the Cape? Anybody drop them in the chat.
They got the full size candy bars over. No, I'm just kidding. They probably don't. I don't know what they got. Don't quote me.
Who's talking to you over there?
over there?
Can you read? And
I got the normal chat, but how about the private?
no, it's just
I'm
the people
delayed.
talking to you.
Oh, I got you.
Can you not see who's talking to you over there on that list?
I can only see Emily's comment.
Oh, so hi, Emily. Good morning. I can't see her over here.
Well, I know you got stuff. But
Well, I have different chats that we're looking at. What's up, Jasara? People are coming in from different spaces. So whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Lemonadio Facebook. So I can't see what you see.
Really?
I see different spots. What's up, Dawn? Thank you for joining us. I know that she was on vacation, came home and had a pipe burst.
Oh, no. That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry. It's not something you want to come back from vacation and deal with.
What's the worst thing you came back from vacation to?
I don't know. Don't say that to me now.
No,
my house is going to be full regardless. My daughter watched my son when we went to Miami a couple of weekends ago. And my son was like, she left the hose on outside and left just crap all over my house. I'm like, awesome.
Nice.
Thanks. So responsible. Thank God you were in charge. I think my 15-year-old would have been in better shape than that. Shout out to Mashpee Southeast Conference Championships. They won them last Friday against Cohasset.
How about that?
I know they've got another game tomorrow, and if they win that, then they get to go to Gillette, which is kind of cool.
That'd be cool,
right?
Go represent Cape Cod, Mashpee. Yeah,
very, very cool. All right, it's all good. Good. Sending you love here from WKKL Studios in the heart of Cape Cod.
Well, that sounded like a commercial you'd see. Donate to us. We're the heart of Cape Cod.
That's right. No, I got sucked into, I couldn't find the remote the other day, and it was like one of those In the Arms of an Angel's sad dog commercials where they're like soliciting for money, and you see all these like shelters or dogs like all live. I couldn't get out of there, and I was like crying, and I was trying to change the channel. And I'm very affected by when people hurt animals, and then they know it, which is why they prey on you. And I couldn't find the remote. It was awful. I ended up pulling the back cords of the TV,
the back plug,
to shut it off because I couldn't listen to it or watch it anymore.
Couldn't do it no more.
It upset me.
Nah, you know what? The thing that's made me laugh about TV is all these political commercials.
5 more days.
I'm so glad they're gonna be over.
5 days.
But I get you. You know what's weird is we get the New Hampshire ones. I'm like, that's great, no, but we're in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because channels like our CBS and our Fox, like 25, are not only just Boston. There's the bear prowling over there.
There's an actual bear behind us.
Yeah.
Is he coming in? Get in here, Bruce.
Good morning. How are you?
You like that, though.
I didn't know how bare it was going to be, but apparently it's Barry Bear.
No, that is not me. That's been in here for a good week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I should...
Come on over, Bruce the Bear.
Bruce the Bear on the air is in the building.
Go scat in the woods.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
turn on this bear's microphone, will you?
Yeah.
Put on some headphones.
Yeah, right. Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us on the show here live at KKL. And a bear walked into the studio.
Bear got lost looking for some food.
You're Mr. Ireland.
Yes.
So you should know all about Halloween.
Yes. It's a big thing over there.
Oh, it very much is.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even bigger than here.
Oh, of course.
You don't have anybody over there saying, oh, no, I don't celebrate that.
No. Well, it's rooted in the pagan holiday of Samhain.
Yes.
And maybe you can talk about that a little.
Well, I am an unreconstructed pagan, that's for sure.
What does that mean, Bruce?
We'll have to go into that when we're off the air.
Okay, perfect. I feel like I'm in trouble.
You might be. You never know.
Not yet.
I love it.
Not till I start building the dolmen over you.
Oh boy. I'm coming for it today.
I really didn't prepare for this one.
Yeah.
So
I didn't mean to put you on the spot by
no.
any means.
No, I probably should have researched that a little bit.
Just one of those things I thought you might have right here on hand, but I know that in Ireland they start with the festivals in September. It's almost like when Oktoberfest happens in Germany, they start in September.
Well,
Like it's over by October.
why wait?
Right? Let's get into the fall.
Guinness is not just for breakfast anymore.
No, definitely not.
You should make that an advertisement, Bruce.
Why not?
Why not?
I could be the Guinness bear.
Hey, anyone got connections to the Guinness company? We got a guy for you.
You betcha.
The bear playing the harp.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
That would be great to watch on
And
TV.
make bite-sized podcasts.
I love it.
It's making me thirsty just talking about it.
Well, there's a party going on over here at WKKL today in the campus and also on the air with us. I know Ricky has been crafting some tunes, some scary voiceovers.
Oh, nice.
Yo, that was perfect. Spot on.
That was very Vincent Price of you. Have you been working on that?
Oh, I've had that one for years.
Oh, I guess. He's like, I've got this. I need to take it on the road.
Vincent Price, the one who's at the end of Thriller.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, he did a few other things too.
He did some famous movies before then.
Yes.
I couldn't name him, but I know he's a famous guy. I don't watch a lot of horror stuff because
No.
that's not just. I'm never really.
He's up there
locked
with
into it.
Boris Karloff.
And he
See
is.
the blank look?
Right?
I don't watch a lot.
The
of that
Monster Mash.
stuff. Oh. I got you.
Oh, I love it. We are here at KKL and it is Halloween. Obviously, Bruce is a bear, but he felt like he was going to be dressing as one today.
Can we get a good growl?
Hey, boo boo. Got any picnic baskets?
Yeah, that was spot on.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
LA, you hiring? We got a guy for you as well.
Oh, LA is too crowded. I'd have to do it remotely.
Uh-huh.
Maybe from some national park.
Ah.
I love it. What's
Yos-
up,
We got to
Kristen?
get him at Yosemite over here.
Is this your costume? Are you going to get more dressed up as the day goes on?
No, this is just me today.
Oh, you're not a fun and festive dresser?
Not really.
He doesn't know about the Hello Kitty pajamas we have.
Oh, perfect. I'm looking forward to
Love
that
this
later.
joke, bro.
Once again, I want to know who the baby beluga is because they're a very tiny human.
You know what? If I see him later today, I'll have to interview him for you today.
Maybe it's just a headpiece.
What's going on here at the college? What's new?
Well, we've got a big Halloween celebration in Grossman Commons. It starts at noon and runs till 3 o'clock. There's a costume contest. There's free chili and all the fixins, so you don't have to buy lunch. You get lunch for free.
That's nice.
Yes.
I got my free lunch from my leftover Thai food.
Oh,
Oh.
there you go.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Mix some chili in with that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds deadly in more ways than one.
It'll be a windy evening.
Oh my God. No,
You had to go there.
we're not having it.
Oh man. What are you looking at me, man?
Because I want to know what's going on with your show.
Oh, I'm usually on Fridays 12 to 2. I talk sports. You know what I've done that's fun is since I know we pay the royalties as a station, I take like instrumentals from a song,
Yeah.
let that run in for like 30 seconds, and then I'll come in as like it's almost like sports talk radio out here.
There you go.
Nice. I'll have to listen in sometime.
And you said your pint-sized podcast, or was that just your clever joke with Guinness
well,
drinking?
I'm working.
All right, good.
I've had a lot on the plate this past month.
Yeah.
We bought a new home
Oh, wow.
2.5 miles from our former home. And over the last 2 weeks ago yesterday, we started moving in. And all day yesterday, a helper and myself moved firewood because we now have a big wood burning fireplace in the living room.
Okay.
And
That's
I
some
have been
vintage stuff right there.
collecting firewood for about 15 years. So I've got a lot of dry oak and maple, which burns awesome. Some of it was in some of the sheds. Others were in big wood piles outside. And I'm not leaving that behind for the new owner.
Absolutely not.
I met the new owners yesterday, and they are very nice people, and they had some questions for me, and they found me quite entertaining.
I'm sure they did,
I
Bruce.
told them the story of how I met my beautiful wife, and they were like, "She really said that?" And I said, "Well, she claims she didn't, but those are the words I remembered."
Well, now you're going to have to tell everybody the story
Well,
of how you met your wife.
well, about 20 and a half years ago, I was out one night in Colorado enjoying copious quantities of tequila with a good buddy of mine.
What could go wrong?
That's the start of something new.
The start of something new.
We agreed to meet for first chair the next morning at Copper Mountain. First chair means you get fresh tracks. It was snowing that night, so I was really looking forward to it. I am not known for being early. That is not my long suit of clothes. My father told me once I'd be late for my own funeral. I made the mistake of questioning what was the rush for that. But that's a whole nother story. So anyway, I'm there at 8:15 in the morning at the base of Copper Mountain, and I hadn't skied Copper all winter, and my buddy is not there. That slacker was a no-show. So I called him up. I woke him up. I made him feel ashamed that his parents had ever met. And I said, "Get to the mountain. I'm not waiting for you. I'm going to go get first tracks." So I rode the lift to the top because there were 11 other people in line, and I didn't know any of them. For a warm-up run, I skied all the way to the bottom because I hadn't skied Copper all winter. Coming down that last slope, the entire base area is completely empty. It spreads out like a big horseshoe. There is no one inside of that horseshoe except for one woman with curly chestnut-colored hair working her way through the rope maze. So I hurried. I skied up to her. I caught up with her and said, "Hey, you want to share a lift chair?" She looked me right in the eye and said, "Get lost, you friendless loser." And I'm still listening to her 20 years later.
I love that.
Now, when she tells the story,
how romantic.
she doesn't come across as quite so harsh.
Yeah.
But those were the words I remembered. She had no chance. I introduced her to my two black labs, Xena and Zelda, that afternoon. They were litter mates. She fell in love with the dogs. Every 2 weeks after that, she would fly out to Colorado from Cape Cod to check on their welfare.
Oh.
Now, it didn't hurt my cause that I would meet her flight at midnight at Denver's airport, 100 miles from my home in the mountains, with a dozen long stem red roses
How cute
in
are
my
you
hand
two?
and a bottle of champagne on ice in my Jeep.
Oh.
And it was expensive champagne.
Bruce was into the woo then.
I still am. I bring my beautiful wife roses at least once a week.
I love this.
I buy them at my favorite neighborhood grocery store where they're $10 a dozen. And it has saved me countless times of struggling to breathe through a pillow in the middle of the night over the years.
Spoken like a true married man.
Oh, yes.
So have you experienced any of those situations, speaking of struggling through a pillow? Because I know moving tends to be very stressful.
I did get a good bit of yelling at yesterday morning because when I was moving the day before, I completely locked up our former house, and my wife came over to do something. I don't even remember what now. And she usually uses the garage clicker to open a garage door and then goes in through the kitchen. Well, I automatically locked the kitchen door.
Bruce is in trouble.
Oh, I was, but
somebody send help.
I got over it.
Yeah, you need the send help sign.
Send the Rangers. Call animal control.
Oh my God. That was like me today. I was just so irritated because nobody put away dinner last night. I had gone to bed. I said, eat dinner. If you don't want it, then pack it up. Came down and it was just, everything was a mess downstairs. So my husband's like, are you mad? No, I'm fine. Get your coffee.
Talking through your teeth.
Are you mad at me? Bye.
Here's your coffee. Don't mind if it tastes like bleach.
Disengage. Enjoy it. Take a sip. He didn't even question it, though. I'm losing my touch. Like, he wasn't even concerned, not one bit.
Do you not have one of those electric cattle prods?
No. It's been a while.
We know what to get you for Christmas.
Watch out, everybody.
Or a shock collar.
She's electric. Things are happening.
You can adapt those large dog shock collars to husbands.
Could you imagine?
Yes. A little remote control, sit there in your pocket across the room. Here, honey, try this on.
This is how the bear has been tamed, apparently. So
yes,
yeah,
dear.
are your you're fully moved into your new home now.
Oh yeah, fully
Awesome.
moved in. The only things that are left are some paving stones that I want to put around the bottom edge of the fence so
Yeah.
our dogs don't try to dig out, and more of the firewood.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I've got probably 3 more days of firewood to move.
You got that.
8 days, 8-hour days.
This is you want to talk about working in the field. That's literally
Right.
physical labor that is intense.
And that's just the stuff that's already split and dried. I think
Oh.
some of the others.
So you
things-
still
Bruce
have
is
some
loving his
stuff to
wood a
cut.
little too much for
Oh,
my
yeah.
liking.
You
I
know-
know it's seasoned, but
we were amazed how many splitting mauls and hatchets we came across. when we
you're
were-
like, that's where that's where that went.
yes. I thought I'd left it behind at Halloween.
How many hatchets? This is so scary. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm next to a bear. And we are at KKL. So we have how many weeks left of this semester?
It's like 4.
It's
4 or 5.
not very many.
I think Professor Z said we have 4.
We're coming to a
I
close.
might have one more because of my history class. I think there's like 4 or 5, depending on what classes people.
Is there something like a big hill or a project or something you've been kind of putting off?
Well, I know today actually we have a interview with.
Yes, we do.
Ooh.
He was a former.
With Colonel Negron.
Yeah, former. I can't speak this morning. I'm sorry.
Well, you better get it together. So if you're going to be speaking to a former colonel.
He was a colonel in the Marine Corps, and he now teaches history here at 4Cs.
Very exciting.
Yes, several classes. I'm going to try to get one of them next semester.
The Korean history ones, or
I already know a little bit about that because 5 of my dogs come from South Korea, but I was thinking of the Chinese one. But we'll see what's available. during
Nate,
my
you're getting
time.
razzed from Ricky B right now. He said, you need to get it together, buddy. What's up, Dottie? Thanks for joining us today. So when you're preparing for an interview with someone that you don't know very much about other than their
background. Or...
what do you do?
So I remember because I've done a couple interviews. I've done one with now retired Steelers broadcaster. He still does Pitt sports, Bill Hillgrove.
Yeah.
I knew a little bit about his background, but I did some more digging when I watched one of the Steelers standard like little things they do on YouTube about like throughout the season, throughout their scouting, the season, this, that. And I found out he had his dad built him a little radio station called WHIL. And he said he used to like watch the kids in the backyard and call it because his dad was an electrician.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I remember I got that and I was like, ooh, this is the perfect thing to put in the wheelhouse because, you know, anyone who does broadcasting, they just expect like the simple questions of like, what's your favorite call?
Yeah.
So anytime.
Is that what they expect?
Yeah. Just like simple questions. And I feel like for me, anytime I like, especially because I'm going to interview players one day, I'm going to interview coaches. I feel like it's important to not just do your research, but to really do it to the point where you're like, that could be a good question builder. So it's doing research with intention to ask good questions behind it. So
Yep.
not just looking up stats or looking at like, oh, they coached here. Like, you know, maybe look of like, oh, it seems like when you first got to this school, you know, things were struggling. What did it take to get up to this 10-4 season?
Yeah.
And it's important that you do the research to the point where you get to those questions. And, you know, for me, that's how I do it. I research to where I can build better questions than the simplicity.
Yeah. Good. No, that's perfect. But also just finding something that you can have an actual dialogue about that you know a little bit about. And it might be a fun story. That's a really cool story. I love that. And that speaks to me because my dad was an elevator builder, worked for Otis and built my Barbie's elevators. It was one of those things. I wish I had a radio dad. No.
So his career is pretty much up and down.
Up and down, always was. Strongest man I've ever had in my entire life. Like, seriously, I was a teenager and I drove my Chevy S10 off of the driveway. So I was literally teetering like this. And my dad saw me from the window, came downstairs, like very calmly, picked up the back of the truck, put it back on the driveway. And I was like, he's Superman.
Nice.
It was one of those moments where I'm his body is totally broken and rebuilt 17 ways now. But it was very impressive as a kid
Like
to sit
Steve
there and be
Austin.
like, absolutely, he's got a new one. But it was those moments where you're like, that's where you get your strength from, because you had to climb up and down elevator shafts. I mean, it's a very
yeah.
physical job.
Yeah.
But, you know, here I am having one for my Barbies, just pressing a button. I'm a princess. I get what I want.
Nice.
How about you though? In the when you would do radio interviews, how would you prepare for people? Because I know when you do radio back then, it was more of a live format.
Well, we didn't have the internet.
Yeah, that's so you couldn't really like research.
The what?
The what? Like, these are the conversations that I have with my kids all the time. I'm like, you have everything at the touch of a button. You don't actually have to work for anything. And it was calling people that were involved with that person, and then talking to them about their character or what they were doing, or maybe you've got a fun story, or maybe you've got something. You had to really work to find information about someone. It wasn't just asking them, who are you? What do you do? What's going on today? It was really digging to find something about them
So maybe you
from their people.
So like maybe you talk to someone in their camp, or maybe you end up talking to the director some way, somehow through connection.
Yeah,
and
you'd
it's
like
I talked to your
physically go
director.
get it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Cleavage equals ratings. Not when you're on the radio, buddy.
Well, hang on. Is this helping?
Ricky B, always interview the hotties, he says.
Yo, Ricky.
That makes for such a good interview. I like. Stop. How about you? What was a tough interview you've ever had? I can tell you the hardest interview I've ever had, but I won't name the person.
I got to hear that story after Bruce.
It was very difficult.
I really haven't had any tough ones yet.
Well, because the person I was interviewing was semi-famous,
Person
and
unnamed.
their handlers said, you can't talk about this. You can't talk about this. You can't talk about this. Nope, don't mention that. They don't like this person. Blah, 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 blah. So I had this whole list of stuff I couldn't talk about, that I was so fixated on the stuff I couldn't talk about. I was like frozen in time. Like I didn't know what to say.
Wow,
It
that's
was-
the first.
It was very, very uncomfortable. It was probably one of the worst interviews, and you kind of have to go through that sometimes.
I'll watch out for that.
How can we dig up old interviews of Stephanie?
Oh,
B?
thank God that's probably long gone. But honestly, yeah, if I listened to any of my first anythings in radio, it was probably cataclysmically bad.
I will say, so compared to last fall semester when I started doing this is the thing I've learned. I tell anyone who starts new in media this: you're going to try to be a perfectionist the first time you try to step in front of this. You want your first break to go so perfect that you'll re-record so many times that eventually you drive yourself nuts.
You know what I'm noticing though? Neither one of you, do you, when you're doing your pods, do you write it out?
Occasionally I'll make a few little notes, but that was early on.
Yep.
And now I just do it right from the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
Where my brain is.
Yep. Good.
I'll write down some stats if it's for
Thank
me,
you, Bruce.
like for doing sports and stuff. Sometimes I have to write down stats.
Well,
if I see
that's
something.
different. That it depends on the nature of the content that you're delivering and how you're delivering it, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, for example, I could talk about the AP Top 25, which is the 25 best teams in college football or basketball. That
Yep.
changes week to week. So, I mean, I could, write little stuff about that, about maybe why I think this team should be here. All right, let me go through their schedule real quick and say this is better than this team at this.
Well,
position.
yeah, to just remind yourself of the stats. And I also find if I write stuff down, I'll remember it, even if I don't actually look at it. It's one of those memory tools that I have where I'll just write stuff down. You've seen me prep for a show.
Oh, yeah.
I'll write down little prompts or reminders of where to have that conversation, or, oh yeah, I wanted to mention that, or, oh yeah, this is going on.
No,
But you're not writing it out word for word.
No, I just kind of write little stuff down.
one thing I do when I meet people and I'm talking about being on the radio and encouraging them to listen to 90.7 WKKL, I'll get their names and first names and
Yep.
what town they're from
Mhm.
or something else about them. And I give them shout outs on the radio. And I said, this is my newest Bear Cub, so-and-so from Katuitt. Like I met a lady yesterday at the transfer center, which everybody out there in the world knows is a dump.
I was like,
But it was
the
a
dumpers.
fine, soft day at the dump. And we got talking, and I said, "Where are you from originally?" She said, "You mean like 60 years ago?" And I said, "Well, whatever." And she said she was from North Carolina, and I knew the area in North Carolina she was from. And we got chatting, and I told her what times I'm on the radio, and she says, "Well, I'm usually watching PBS or listening to NPR." I said, "Well, I'm a lot funnier than they are." And so here's a shout out to Linda from Katuitt. It was nice meeting you at the dump yesterday. Hope you're listening into a real station this morning.
See, I
Oh
love it. That
my
is Radio 101. That is the beginning days of radio and how you connected and how you met people and how you developed your P1s, the people that would put you as the preset number one, and how you would make them part of your culture, how you would get them to have this personal connection. I know this guy. He talked to me yesterday, and now he's talking to me through the magic box. So it is how you connect.
People will drive by me or walk past me at the neighborhood grocery store where I work, and they'll say, "Oh my God, I know that voice.
Yeah.
You're Bruce the Bear."
Yeah.
And it's just
Well, I
such a
mean, it helps
rush.
when he wears that bear costume
Well,
wherever he
yeah,
goes. I mean,
I'm still looking for my turkey costume.
he's that
'cause
guy.
They're expecting me to dress up as a turkey for Thanksgiving, but we moved. And
Yeah.
I think that box was one of the ones that my wife took to the dump.
Ah!
And it also had my Buddy the Elf costume in it. So I'm like,
Oh no.
well, that's okay. They were both getting a little long in the tooth. This one is wicked comfortable. Can you see all of this?
You're going to be dying later. It's going to be like 70 degrees
Yeah, I
today.
know.
So
I sent Professor Z a text. I said, "I hope the AC is working in the studio."
are you going to unzip that?
I do have my KKL t-shirt on underneath it.
Excellent. Ricky B says he's very nice to his bear cubs. It also helps to give listeners alcohol. And yeah, no.
Well, if,
Yeah,
they,
that's
can, if
wild.
they can keep up with me, Ricky B, I'd be happy to do that.
You're right.
But I'm not providing chauffeur service home.
All right. So you heard.
You heard it here first, folks.
Awesome. Anything else that's going on campus that people should know? Maybe as we're wrapping up 4 weeks to go and you're thinking about coming to school here, maybe you can give some people some tips or stuff that you've learned from being here, being on campus.
It is.
Don't wait.
Yeah. Get off your tail. Get your financial paperwork in and do it. This is awesome. I came back to school in January for the first time in, well, let's conservatively say 40 years.
He was hibernating.
Yes, I was. Oh, it was awesome too. All those acorns. Anyway, and it is a blast. And when I was in school before, there were no laptops, there were no cell phones. A computer was a big thing in a special building made by Cray, and you got to log on to a terminal that was either green or blue and black.
Mhm.
You know, and that was the script, the type was either green or blue, and the background was black. There was no color. You know, Pac-Man, I don't even think was out then.
No, it was Pong.
Oh, well, see, I didn't go to those buildings very often because they didn't serve beer.
There you go.
I went to places that had pizza and beer, and that's how I studied.
True story.
That's why I never finished.
Well, he's back now and you are finishing.
Yes, at some juncture.
Yeah,
But I'm enjoying every second of this.
I love it.
It
And I
is
think
so much fun.
it's important whether you're thinking about just changing what it is that you're doing with your day to day and you're watching right now and you're like, I wish I could brush up on this skill, or maybe I would like to do something totally different. Check out the programs that they have here.
Or if you want to learn something new, you know, your gray matter has to be exercised. Your brain basically is like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it's going to turn to mush, and you're going to wind up sitting in a chair, drooling all over yourself, and having people wait on you hand and foot if you can find these people. Get out there, exercise, and exercise your brain.
I edit a lot of financial podcasts for a living, and one of the greatest interviews happened fairly recently with a friend of ours, and it was a retired NASA astronaut that is now
Whoa.
talking about how in his old age, how you can actually continue to grow your gray matter, and you have to be mentally active and physically active. There's no doubt about those two things. As long as you're doing both of those, you're gonna continue to grow.
That's why my grandma's about to be 90 next.
Yeah. Eva says hello and good morning. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And the physical activity pumps oxygenated blood through your brain, keeping the brain cells alive.
Yeah.
And helping them not turn to oatmeal or scrambled eggs.
Well, and specifically, you said it doesn't have to. You don't have to be learning ridiculous stuff, but I mean, just something, anything to be interested in, and to push yourself to learn something.
Yeah. You got to exercise.
Yep.
Exercise your body and your mind.
Yep. So it was just a really good one. Are the students broadcasting from the cafeteria today for Halloween?
Oh, yes, they are.
All right.
Well, actually, I think Bruce and I are going to be in here.
Well, we'll get it all set up.
Yeah.
Then I have class dressed as Bruce the Bear from 12:30 to 1:45.
I think this is the one day that you're going to be able to get away with this.
Oh, and that classroom is so hot because the sun just beats in those windows. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, you have pants on, right?
Of course I do.
All right.
I'm not wearing my kilt.
And I think it might be a t-shirt and pants point of that day.
I didn't wear pants to our wedding. I wore my kilt.
Excellent.
And
Stuff under the kilt, though, right? Isn't that
only
a joke?
the original equipment. It works
Okay.
just fine.
All right. I walked
It's
into
not.
that.
It's not a joke.
I deserve that.
It's a lifestyle.
I guess.
It's not a choice. It's a lifestyle.
That's it. That's what it is. We are here at WKKL broadcasting live, Cape Cod Community College, 90.7 if you're looking for us on the dial. And Nate, thank you very much for manning the helm over here. Anything else that you want to say before we head on out of here?
Not really. I mean, I thought we covered a lot of good things.
A lot of good ground.
I mean, one of the funniest things I've probably seen as of recently this week is I know we talked about the Jets is how crazy Aaron Rodgers literally is. One of his teammates suggested, like, because of anti-inflammatory stuff, is cayenne pepper and water, and you drink that. And I was like, who in their right mind would just put that together?
A lot of people. You'd be surprised.
I don't think
somebody
that
who has excess toilet paper and needs to use it up.
Aaron Rodgers was dating Shailene Woodley at one point, and the two of them did not eat regular food. They decided that the only thing that they would eat was stuff that they foraged.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What in the world?
That's the person Aaron Rodgers is.
I'll bet they lost a lot of weight.
They did. I don't think that they had much to lose in general.
Foraging in a grocery store or foraging?
No, in the forest. I don't know exactly where they placed themselves, but eating mushrooms and tree bark sounds kind of like Survivor to me, and it doesn't seem appealing in any shape or form.
That's why he probably
remember
seen
Yul
something
Gibbons?
like aliens.
No.
It was before your time, but he was a famous naturalist or dietitian or something. His tagline was, "Ever eat a pine tree? Many parts are edible."
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they are, but no. It's just not. That's not the fiber I'm looking for in my life.
For me, pine trees are just to kind of scratch your back with. Oh yeah.
Dude was hitting that Kool-Aid Man type. Oh yeah.
From Bruce the Bear and Nate, we are saying goodbye to you this morning.
Goodbye.
Trick or treat
folks.
safely. Order your pizza early, and party on.
Oh yeah. Have a great day, everybody. We appreciate you joining the stream, and we'll be live broadcast. We'll live broadcast this on 90.7 WKKL. Sorry, I can't talk. My brain is tired this morning.
That's it. Little slow moving.
We'll get him some caffeine soon.
I know. I've got some chocolate. I've got some eyeballs for you.
Ooh, nice.
There we go.
Nice. Oh, cool. And great.
They're handmade
display box,
chocolates.
too.
I know, right? She's fabulous.
But everybody, we are signing off. So have a great time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.